Whoa, done Star Wars. Oh, watch out for the TIE fighters, duck! Duck! All right, thanks for coming back to us here. So please find the measure of angle A from the following triangle with side lengths 22, 21, and 18. So first you got to label, right? Label your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s. I mean just ABCs. So across from big A is little a. Across from big B is little b. And across from big C is little c. So to find the measure of angle A, which is this guy right here, we're going to actually use the loss cosines in a different way. We're going to use all the sides and then solve for the missing angle. Okay, we got this. You got this. So to know which one, let's kind of write the formula and work our way backwards. So we want to find A. So I'm going to write cosine of angle A, right? Cosine of angle A. Then I'm going to go backwards to where we want to start at, which is our matching little a. And so little a we know is 22 meters. So I'm going to go ahead and do 22 meters, but for the formula, we're actually going to square it, right? So 22 squared equals the other two sides. Doesn't matter what they are, just the other two sides is 21 and 18. So we're going to square those and add those together. Then to remind you with our formula here once again, so minus 2 is part of the formula that doesn't ever change. Same with cosine, doesn't ever change. Other stuff may change, but they don't. Okay, there we go. I'm actually going to label this a different color because this we got to make sure we do this right. So minus 2 times 21 times 18, and then cosine of angle A. Okay, so to solve for angle A now, we got to do some crazy steps going on here, okay? So I just take each part at a time so you don't make mistakes. Here we go. So 22 squared is 484, and 21 squared plus 18 squared is 765. So 22 squared again is 484 equals 765. Careful now, remember, take each part at a time. Because now we're going to minus, and then so we have a 2 times 21 times 18, and so that's 756. Now there's people who run into trouble now because they forget that this multiplication is so important. So what does that mean? Why is it so important? Well, you cannot do the difference of these two, right? So you cannot do 765 minus 756. Right? I know you want to put like 9 there or something, but you can't because of the multiplication, right? They're connected at the umbilical cord. So multiplication, they're connected. So this has to be kind of on its own. So leave it for now, right? Leave it for now because this multiplication, those are connected. So now we're just going to go ahead and minus the 765 over here, minus the 765 over here. And so we get 484 minus 765. Really important you do these steps correctly. So we get a negative 281. And so negative 281 equals, now we can bring down the negative 756 times cosine A. And now we can divide, because multiply, how do you undo multiplication? With division. So we undo multiplication with division. Nice. And so we're going to go ahead and divide now that 756 to the other side. Divide the negative 756 to the other side. That's going to make it positive because negative divided by a negative is a positive. Use the ouchie negative. That's the red ouchie negative down there. Not that one. That's going to get it wrong. No. So do the ouchie negative. Do the ouchie negative, which is that one. So 756, negative 756. The other one's subtraction. This just means the number is negative. Okay, push enter. We get 0.37169. I'd write that out. So 0.3769. What is it? 0.37169. Okay, beautiful. 3. So I do lots of decimals. So that's what this becomes. No, don't freeze on me now. What the heck? Okay, good. I think we're still going. Okay, good. Phew. Okay, so false alarm. Okay, so that's what that becomes. Equals, and then cosine of angle A. Nice. Okay, we're almost done. Finally, last but not least. So now we're going to do, last but not least, is we're going to go ahead and solve for angle A by getting cosine to the other side. And so how we get cosine to the other side is the opposite of cosine. And what's the opposite of cosine? Inverse cosine. I hope you tried this on your own and you paused me, didn't just watch me. Well, do it over again and then look and see if you did it again with me. So, because I really got to make sure you can do this crazy problem on your own. So we're going to inverse cosine to the other side, inverse cosine. And that's going to give us what angle A is. A equals that. Angle A equals that. So we're going to go inverse cosine, so second cosine of r.37. I would do lots of decimals just to make sure to get the right answer. Ah, we're almost there. Do them all. Okay, fine. Okay, there we go. So we get 68.17. So let me just show you, if you went ahead and truncated this and did like, I don't know, I'm just going to round it, Newbold. Yeah, look, just 37 is fine with me. So that's going to give you, off by, maybe, yeah, that's 68.3, where the correct answer is actually 68.2. So don't round too soon, because you can get the wrong answer by a tenth or more. So it's going to be 68.2 is the right answer. So 68.2 degrees. So be careful that you get the right answer there. So 68.2, because the 68.1799 rounds that 7 up to an 8. No, rounds this. So the 7 rounds the 1 up to a 2. So 68.2. Cool. Okay, beautiful. Because again, remember it's rounded to the nearest tenth or 1 decimal place. Okay, so next one. Yay! We can just use the law of sines. So we're going to use the law of sines to find this one. So find the length of segment BC, which we will call across from big A is just little a. So we'll go A, would it be? So A over 755. Pause me now. You try this one. Come on, you do it on your own. You stop watching for a moment. Try it on your own. And then unpause me and see how you did. Did you pause me? Okay, so A over sine 55. You better have paused me and tried it on your own. I'm just saying. I'll get this lightsaber out. Oh, it's fake. Don't worry. Okay, so A over sine 55 is equal to 20, right, which is little c, all over sine of big C, which is sine of 43. Nice. Now this is really easy because you just have to multiply sine 55 over the other side. And now we solve for little a. Little a equals 20 times sine 55. Now here's a trick on the test. Careful. Close parenthesis. Shut that door. Close parenthesis. And then, because if you don't close the parenthesis, I'll show you, you get it actually wrong. So here we go. We're going to go 20 sine of 55. Now watch, if you don't close the parenthesis, watch how you get it wrong. Oh no, I got it wrong. So 19.7 is not the right answer. No, because we forgot to do what? We got to shut the front door. You got to shut the parenthesis. Remember when I slammed my front door in the classroom just to surprise you, and you're like, oh, it means close the parenthesis. So we actually get 24.0, which is the right answer. So 24 kilometers is the right answer. Just make sure that you shut that parenthesis so you don't get a wrong answer. Okay, next one. Now they want us to find an angle. So to find angle B, we're going to use, again, sine of angle B. Pause me, try on your own. So sine of B over side length 14 equals sine of, what else angle do we have there? Ooh, we got 99 degrees all over 18. And then we have to do 2 steps on this one. So we're going to go ahead and multiply that 14 over to the other side like this. And then we'll go ahead and undo sine. Well, how do you undo sine to both sides? You inverse sine. So we're going to go ahead and inverse sine the whole thing. And that's what's going to be what B equals. So now we're going to go to inverse sine the whole thing there. So second inverse sine, 14, sine 99, close parenthesis. Don't forget to close that parenthesis. And then divided by, remember we inverse sine, 14 sine 99, divided by 18, close parenthesis again. Okay, we get 50.19, which rounds up to 50.2. So 50.2 is the correct answer for angle B. How pretty. And you could do 180 minus those two angles to find angle A. Sweet. So 50.2 rounded to the nearest 1 decimal place, the nearest 1/10. Now I feel like I need to go on there and double check that I did put that in there. Canvas, I think I did. Okay, beautiful. We're on question 7 now. Ooh. So now it wants you to find all the angles, all the sides. And so lucky for you this year, this one will just be using law of sines. And so to use law of sines, let's go ahead and find, probably they give us little a. Remember, label your ABCs. So across from big A is little a. Across from big B is little b. And then across from big C is little c. Can't do C's yet because we have nothing there. But let's find A first. So we'll go sine A over little a, which is 9, equals sine B, which is 52, over little b, which is 11. And then we'll just go ahead and multiply that 9, remember, over to the other side, just like we did before. And then we'll inverse sine to solve for angle A. And so we're going to go ahead and inverse sine that sucker for angle A. And so we're going to go second inverse sine of 9 sine. I really hope you're pausing me and trying this on your own and then just checking your answers with me, right? To see if you did it right. So you can ace it on the test, on the quiz. Okay, so 40.14. So that is going to be this guy. So check. 40.1 is measure of angle A. Then, do you remember how to find angle C? So you do 180 minus what they gave you, 52, and minus that angle we just found, 40.1. And so let's go ahead and do 180 minus 52 and minus 40.1. Good, good, good. Oh, that gives us 87.9. That's angle C, which is right there. We're almost done. Now I can just use the Pythagorean theorem, right? A squared plus b squared equals... No, you can't. It's not a right triangle, right? Because we just figured out that angle A over there is 40.1. And then we found out that angle C is not a right angle at all. No, no, no. So angle C is 87.9, which is not 90. It's close, but not quite. So cannot use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. No. And the reason why is because this is a remember this? This is a non-right triangle. But we can use the law of sines one more time. So we'll go flip it upside down now. So flip the formula. Flip the formula to find a side length. You flip the formula upside down. Nice. So we're going to do little c over sine of that angle we just found, which is 87.9, is equal to, well, they gave us little b, which is 11, over sine of b, which was sine of 52. And now c is not too bad. So now all we got to do is go ahead and multiply that sine 87.9 to the other side. And when we multiply it over to the other side like that, then we just plug that. Oh, whoa, no, ball! You forgot the sign. I'm sorry. It's okay. You can make mistakes. Just fix them so that you ace it on the quiz, on the test. Okay, there it is. So we'll go ahead and plug that into our calculator. 11 sine 87.9, which is what we found for angle C there. Don't forget to close the parenthesis. Divided by sine 52. And so using the law of sines, we found it to be 13.94, which I know, you want to go ahead and round that, but don't round it incorrectly, okay? So basically we ignore this, and then we just go to 1 decimal place, which this will not round up, so it's just 13.9, which is meters, our last answer. Woo! Beautiful. Okay, so now just refreshing how to find 0, 1, or 2 triangles given a triangle. So don't forget your hint. You got to make sure that you draw your triangle out on your own piece of paper. So go ahead and pause me for a second and try them. Try these 3 problems. Pause me. Okay, so hopefully you paused me there. So there's just some rules that we talked about to answer these. If you just know kind of those rules, you'll ace these problems here. So given that angle C, remember the first rule is to start on the bottom left, your angle that they give you. Again, this is for side-side angles, what we're doing this for. Because it could only be 0 or 1 or 2 triangles. Ignore 3 or 4. And so they give us that across from big angle C is little c, which is 21 miles. Awesome. So 21 miles is right about there. Cool. And I usually like to do dashes. I don't know if you remember that. Okay, so then that's little c is 21 miles. And then little b, I like to put big B over here, usually always, or A, whatever they give you. And so they give us B, so that means you can put this over here. And the reason why you want to do that is to see if you can make a second triangle or not. So we can definitely, I believe, make at least one triangle here, right? Using law of sines, you could do one triangle. But if we take that same distance of 21 and flip it, it's going to be awful. But if we could go ahead and flip it like this, you will technically have, wait for it, yeah, you're going to have an obtuse, you see that? You're going to have an obtuse angle there. Because this is 21, and so whatever this is, angle B, it'll also be right here, angle B. And then if you do 180 degrees minus that angle B, I guess we shouldn't call it prime because we're actually finding prime right now. So 180 minus angle B will give us this obtuse angle, which will be angle prime B. And so we could do the math to make sure it works, probably a good idea. But for time's sake, it should definitely work there using law of sines. And so you want me to do, okay, fine, I will. So, because I can do this kind of fast in my head with you there. So it's going to be C over sine 62 is equal to sine B over 22. So that means you have to multiply 22 to the other side. And so we're going to do inverse sine of our 22. Inverse sine of our 22 times sine 62, the angle they gave us. Close parenthesis divided by 21. Really hope I'm doing this right. Okay, so that gives us angle B, which is 67.7. So 67.7, which isn't too big. So this means that this will be okay for that first triangle to work. Good. And then the other triangle comes by taking 180 minus that 67.7. And so 180 minus the 67.7 will give us 112.3. So the question is, can we have this be 112.3 as well as this one that they gave us still be 62? Well, I think so, because if you take 180 and you minus the 112.3 and minus the 62 they originally gave us, yep, that exists. You can have a 5.7 right here. Nice. So 2 triangles is the right answer. Nice, nice. Now you'll notice down here on this next one, these next 2 are going to go real quick for us. So if you do your measure of angle 39 here, make sure you draw your triangle for measure of angle A. And then you'll notice that, so you'll notice that little a is actually bigger now. Uh-oh. It's 24 feet, as opposed to little b is 23 feet. And so this is only going to be one triangle, probably an obtuse triangle at that. And the reason why it's only going to be one triangle is because if you try to go ahead and take this leg, and if you go ahead and try to, why did you draw a big line like that? I don't know. Leave me alone. So if you go ahead and take that leg there, and you try to go ahead and flip it, right? This is going to be weird to show this to you. So if you kind of try to flip it, it's going to go too far. It's not going to meet up anywhere along this line, right? It's not going to meet up. It's going to be like, oh, look, I'm trying to make an obtuse angle as a second triangle, but it goes way down here and just doesn't even, do you know what I mean? Let me see if I can show you. I feel like I'm struggling here. So if we try to flip that, but it's like too long, do you know what I mean? Like they tell us it's really long like this. So then when you try to, see that? When you try to flip it, it's not matching up with the triangle down below. because it's too far. It's not right here to make our obtuse angle. So that's why it's just one triangle. One triangle. Okay, last but not least, thanks for staying with me to number 10. So number 10 says, how many triangles can be formed with this guy? Oh, that was sneaky, Newbold. What do you mean? Well, look at angle B. How big is it? Is it bigger than 90 degrees? You betcha. And since it's bigger than 90 degrees, that means it's obtuse. And so that's going to be angle B. And they tell us that little b is 27 miles. Well, that's just dandy. So as long as little a is smaller than that, then we've got one triangle. What the? It's 28? That means it's too big. Right? Because if this is too big, this angle right here, because remember, this is the largest angle, and since it's the largest angle, it should have the largest what? Largest angles always have the largest side. And since it doesn't, that means 0 triangles. 0 triangles. Okay, so otherwise we would have had one triangle. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Make sure that you have yourself an excellent day and get ready for our quiz. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye. Bye, Wookie. Okay, it's all right. They're ready now. They can do it. They got the force.